Hello and welcome to all my new and returning viewers. This is Heartland Stitches, where I talk about all my knitting and sewing and spinning and gardening activities. Today I want to talk to you about sewing, kind of my early autumn sewing plans. It's been a while since I've sat down and done this. As a way of explanation, at the beginning of June I tripped and fell and broke my wrist, actually shattered my wrist. So I spent most of the summer in a cast, unable to do anything. I had to have surgery. I have a titanium plate and 7 screws in there. This is my right hand. I am right-handed. It put kind of a crimp in all of my fiber and sewing activities for the summer. I was able to knit a little bit after they changed out the cast, after a couple of weeks after the surgery, but I really didn't sew much. The last week that I had my cast, I did sew 2 dresses. The sewing part wasn't difficult, but cutting out and using the iron to press seams and things was. So as of last week, I got a totally recovered diagnosis from my doctor, and he said, "You're back in the game," and I thought that means the sewing game. And so I have been thinking about what I want to do for this fall. Starting out, I want to do some more involved projects, but kind of for this next little bit, I want to do some things that I'm kind of transitional things that will take me from sort of summer as it is now into kind of the cooler days of autumn. So first off, and I cut this one out this morning, so I'm letting my wrist, it did stress it a little bit, hurt it a little bit using a shears. Doing a rotary cutter is kind of the same amount of stress on it, I feel like. So, but anyway, the first thing I want to do is a little Cleo dungaree dress. And you've all seen this pattern. You know what I'm talking about. And this time I did do one in May. And I really ended up enjoying it. At first, I was not sure it was the right thing for me. I wore it a couple times and just didn't know. And then when I broke my wrist, it was sort of the thing that I wore almost every day, one whole week, just with different color t-shirts underneath, because when I went to the ER, they put me in a big splint kind of up past my elbow, so my elbow couldn't move at all. And the Cleo was the one thing that I could put on. It didn't have any zippers or any buttons or anything. I could dress myself in it fairly easily. And then I wore it and started wearing it more, and so now I want another one. That one is more, it's a kind of white background color twill. So I think of it more as for summer. So I want to do a denim one. And so I have this really pretty, just a blue denim. It's a nice weight. I don't know, maybe 7-8 ounce. So it's nice. It's not too heavy. And so this is what I want to use for my next Cleo. On this one, I am going to do hot pink top stitching because I think that will be really fun, and pink is sort of a neutral in my life. And for the inside facings, I'm going to use this little pink spot cotton, which I think will be fun. It'll go with the pink top stitching and all of that. So that is going to be the first thing up. Kind of to go with that, I mean, anything will go with that, but I like to think in sort of like outfits. And so I want to do a little Agnes tee. And so I'm going to do, you've all seen this pattern too, I'm sure. And so that one I'm going to do out of this kind of, it's a kind of a hot pink fuchsia sort of smaller stripe jersey. It's a really nice cotton. That's going to be fairly straightforward. I plan on doing sort of the 3/4 length sleeve version, and I think I'm going to do the little thing that I learned from the Tilling the Button stretch book. Let me see if I can find the picture of it. One of the dresses that I made in the summer before camp was the Joni dress from the Tilly book. And what I did on the sleeve of that one is kind of this little feature where she does the invisible elastic kind of right on the side, and it just is a nice little detail. So I plan to do that on this one also. So that is what's up next. And then something that was left over from last year, I bought this fabric to use as a wearable muslin for a dress. I'm not even really sure which dress pattern that I plan to use it on, but it never got kind of done early on, and then I felt it's just a cotton, so I thought by the time I finished it I wouldn't have that much time to wear it. So it's this kind of a floral with a dark background. It's a nice weight. It's really basically just a quilting cotton, so I want to use it for a wearable muslin. I did pull this pattern out. I have a bunch of fitting muslins done, whole bunches of them, because I had done them in anticipation of making a whole bunch of summer dresses, which never happened. So I have all of those done, so I could pull out one of them. I do want to do one that has sleeves, but I did pull this one up. This one doesn't have a fitting muslin done, but I might have been thinking last year of doing this version. It's got sort of a surplice bodice and then the long sleeves. I don't know, I might put a different skirt on there. But I think it'll be either that one or it'll be one of the other ones in there, but I would like to get it done fairly soon so that it'll be a nice transitional dress to sort of take me into fall when it's still warm, but I want to feel like this is not like a summer dress. And then I did buy new fabric. And it is not my usual colors at all, but it just really appealed to me, and so I bought it. It is this fabric, which is sort of a rusty sort of pumpkin color, and then a light gray, almost a blue-gray check. And it is a flannel, kind of a brushed cotton flannel, but it's a Paro weight flannel, so it's a nicer quality than kind of the usual things that they have. And it's a really nice quality, and I want to make a dress out of this. I think this will be really lovely. What I'm thinking of, it might not be this pattern, but I have a couple of patterns like this, and this is what I used for my Easter dress this year. But something like this that has kind of a midriff section. And what I want to do for the midriff is cut it on the bias so that the checks kind of are set on angle, so that it breaks it up a little bit, so that it's not just a dress with this whole check pattern kind of all going the same direction. So it'll either be that or maybe a shirt dress. I am not sure, but I'm thinking especially, the only thing about doing this one, I do want it to have sleeves, and I used this pattern for my Easter dress and I loved the fit of it, but these are just little cap sleeves. They don't, so I may have to figure out how to, if I need to adjust the arm side to accommodate a sleeve cap or not, but that would be a good learning experience. So before I held up the Tilly and the Buttons stretch book, and I didn't buy this last spring when it was first released because I thought the projects I wouldn't make right away anyway. I was going to make all these summer dresses during the summer months. And then when I broke my wrist, I ordered it off of Amazon because I thought if I can't sew, at least I can read about sewing. And I did end up doing the Joni dress. I want to make that again at least once, maybe twice more. I know I want to do it in a stretch velvet, and the fabric that I used for my other version was an Art Gallery print, cotton jersey print, and it's very, very summery. It's got an off-white background, and so I love it, but I think I might look for another one of those in more of a darker color background, and then I would make a third one out of that. But anyway, I've decided that I want to make all of the patterns in there. I wasn't totally sold on all of them until I got the book, and then I saw like some of the different versions that she has. And the first one that I have fabric here for is one of those. It's the BB skirt, the little kind of pencil skirt that's in there. When I saw the different, the pictures from the book, and then some of them that have been on Instagram and such, and they had the panels in the front and back out of kind of a striped fabric, which that is not the area of my body that I want to draw all the attention to. But then when I got the book and saw this sort of solid version, and this sort of, I love the little kind of slit detail that she has, and she's got these little kind of button tabs at the waistband. I thought I could totally see doing a solid color version of that. And last week I wandered into, there's a bigger Joann's in the next town up. I have, the one in my town is pretty small, but I stopped at the bigger one kind of on the way home. My doctor was up there, and after my checkup, I stopped there, and I ran into this fabric, which I'd never even heard of. And it's going to just look black, but this is a suede scuba. So I don't know if, I might have to take a separate video to show you, but it actually has the sort of nap of suede, but it is really stretchy like scuba. So it's catching the light and looking a lot lighter. In person, it looks a very kind of matte look. So I had never seen this before, but I thought of this skirt that it would make, if it looked like a little black pencil skirt, but it was stretchy, it would be really comfortable. I thought this would be something I could wear kind of all fall and winter. I don't know, I've never heard of it before, so I don't know how it will wear and such, but it's got, you know, it's got a kind of a nice drape to it. Like I said, I've never sewn with scuba before. So my thinking is I will do this solid color, and then either do the little slit, or I was thinking, since there's just panels, and I don't know, tell me if you think this is going to work, is if at the bottom, if you kind of increased out on all the panels and then sew those together, would it make like a little flippity edge around the bottom? Because I think that would be kind of fun too. I mean, you could also just make a kind of little frill and then sew that on, but I was thinking just trying to change off those panels, if that would do it or not, or if it in this kind of fabric, would that make it too sculptural and it would kind of just stick out? It wouldn't, I don't know. So anyway, I was thinking if I tried that, I could always take it apart and make the panels straight, right? So I might give that a go and see how that works. But I'm thinking that this will be a fun thing to play around with and try. And then the other thing that I have fabric here for to make is the little Freya top. I do want to make the dress with the little frill around the top, but as just sort of almost a wearable muslin, just to kind of try out the pattern and sort of get the sizing. I fell into this fabric kind of at Joann's also. It's really the only place I have. I do a lot of like mail order, but if I want to go look for fabric or something, but this was from their spring, I think. Anyway, I got it for a song. It was on sale and I had the coupons, and you know how Joann works sometimes. But it is just this kind of a cream color, kind of a textured, it almost has a kind of a cable knit look to it. So I thought that this would be kind of something you could would be really useful. I could wear it under sweaters and all of that. The only thing about it is it is 100% polyester, so I don't think it'll probably hold up all that well. And just for wearing, I wish it had a little bit of cotton content just for the comfort factor. But for what I paid for it, it's going to work fine just to sort of test out the pattern and make sure that I'm getting the sizing right on it. And so I thought I would give that a go. Like I said, I do want to make all the other projects from here, and I was hoping I would have swatches to show you. I received an order from Mood. That pink and white stripe fabric was in there. I got that on Sunday, and I had ordered a bunch of swatches from Mood. You can, when you spend so much, you get so many free swatches. And then I had actually purchased a bunch more because I really wanted to get a handle of what I wanted to do for like these projects. So there was stretch velvet, there was some French terry things, there was some Ponte swatches, there was a whole bunch of different things. There were coatings in there, and when I got my order, none of them were included in it. So what they usually do is they put all the little swatches in a plastic Ziploc bag, and I imagine they just didn't put the Ziploc bag of swatches into the box. So I called them on Monday, and we have done live chat with them, and they said they were going to resend them, but it's Friday and I haven't seen them yet. So I thought I will give them a couple more days. So I have plenty to go on right now, even if I don't have those swatches to show you. I do intend on making the rest of those patterns because I think they will be really fun. I want to do the little hooded sweatshirt, and so that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up and also subscribe. I do plan on recording a little more often. I know I've said that before, but then life intervened. But I do hope to do sort of a couple sewing videos a month, and I am still knitting, so I do have a knitting catch-up. I do have a couple videos that I have recorded that haven't ever been uploaded. One was all about the garden, and now I was having some work done and it is kind of finished, so I can do a before and after. So maybe I will upload that one. And then I did do one right before knitting camp when I still had my cast on. I kind of had to record something just for posterity with my pink cast on my arm. So at some point I will probably upload that one too. So do subscribe, because then you can get notified when new videos go up. But hopefully I will also be a little more regular recording and uploading. But thank you all so much for spending a few minutes with me today. And until I see you next time, from my heart to yours, happy sewing.